Do, do, do. Rumble. Welcome in, everybody. How you doing? Say hi to Fang.
Are we there?
We are there. I'm just sharing links real quick. Reminder, we are doing a new format where we are going to spend
Oh, I forgot about
optimally
that.
5 to 10 minutes per subject, unless we get into something where everybody kind of agrees that we need to go into more detail on something. You know, we can kind of bring that up and say, hey, why don't we discuss that a little more?
I don't see anybody in yet.
Howard Stern is demanding that all Trump supporters must stop listening to his radio show. Hey, Peckerhead, I think most Trump supporters have stopped listening to you years ago.
Years ago. Yeah, he's
I,
a has-been.
I haven't listened to you since fucking 2000.
I was probably, yeah, he just, no on the Howard Stern.
Yeah, I'm good with that one too. Mel Brooks hurt though. That one, when he fucking shilled for the vaccine and all that stuff, that one hurt. I'm on Discord, that's why it looks funny. Hi, Fang.
Might just be me and you, Chris.
Maybe. We'll find shit to talk about.
Hell, we could have carried this conversation on the phone.
Nobody shows up, we can do that later. I'll just delete the whole conversation. Just delete this. Done it before. So, alright. Now I'm done sharing links, I believe. No, actually, I do want to share it back onto X as a post with all the links on it.
Did you send Jay a link, just in case?
I will do that right now. Why is it saying autofill? No, I don't need the auto.
Oh. I'm moving to the kitchen. I guess I ought to grab the laptop and throw it in here. Find my coffee cup. Oh, there it is. Hey, ready to go. Hot damn.
Now, Boat said he was going to be available today, so I sent him a link, and I'm waiting to see if he shows up. Hey, we got some peoples.
Got them straggling in, do we?
We got Jamie and Andrea. Welcome
Hi,
in,
Andrea.
lady.
Hey, Jamie.
How are you?
Use. You and your Pennsylvania accent. Use. Use. Get all my wood shavings off of me.
So, please come up with some topics for us to talk about, because, yeah, we're trying to do this stuff. Jamie ran into the psychiatrist to help put me on the behavior flag today. Well, I hope that went well, Jamie. I hope you've showed them that you've changed and are making progress. Hey, there's Sig. How you doing, Siggy?
Hey, Siggy.
Hopefully your hand's healing better, and just remember we're praying for you and your daughter and family.
That's it. I need. What do I need? Chit. Chit.
Uh-oh.
Brain fart. I need this.
Why are you kissing him? Huh? Fang's just over here trying to kiss Whiskers.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah. Well, that's good, Jamie. Just focus on you. Don't worry about others. Sometimes that's where you have to put yourself in life. Siggy says, letting me comment for a bit. Laugh out loud. Hi. Cora and Chris, fingers still juicy. Taryn is holding in there. Well, that's good,
Good
bud.
deal.
Hopefully she gets in there and they can get this
Powder,
stuff
garlic,
straightened out for you.
Thyme. Parsley.
Brought a new tank out and put it on the fire pit. I told Cora, I said, I ain't coming out here and I love you all, but I ain't coming out here and freezing my nuts off in 32-degree weather with no heat.
Oh, where's your sense of adventure?
My sense of adventure is over. I did that shit when I ran naked through 3 foot of snow and had my balls up around my ears.
Woohoo! Bit chilly. What do you call that? Ballsy? They call it nipply for girls. What do they call it for boys?
Ballless at that point because they're gone.
They're gone. They're hidden.
They're heading north. They're like a runaway slave. Then 20 years later, we're having a conversation about how we used to play Truth or Dare over here, and my neighbor goes, "Yeah, I know." I'm like, "Oh yeah." She said, "Yeah." She said, "I watched you run around the house naked a couple times." I'm like, "You
Right?
didn't see much." I said it was all gone. She laughed. Jamie said she's stuffing her mouth. And Andrea said, laugh out loud, "Jamie, I am good today. I already stuffed mine. Thanks for asking, Sig. How are you today?" I'm doing good, Sig. I'm doing good. I'm here with you all, so.
We're all blessed.
Yeah. Even the people who hate this country and think they have it so bad don't realize how blessed they really are.
Right?
Especially all these gays and stuff that are, my country hates you. No, your country doesn't hate you. They're not throwing you off the fucking roof of buildings and shit. So, there's lots of people who aren't happy with what you're doing, but you know what? You still have the right to do it.
I'll get over it.
I don't care, really. I mean, I do tell them what the Bible says about it, and that I love them enough to share that with them. But it's up to them on what decision they make. Got an increase in the boost bar for my anxiety. Boost bars, okay. Katie used to take that, but once you go off the boost bar, I've noticed doing research. They say once you go off of it, you don't really get any kind of reaction once you try and go back on it. So make sure you keep taking it as directed, so not to, especially if it's working, so that it doesn't screw you up later. Yeah. But yeah, we've been just chilling out. Ryan's talking about trying to take me to a Penn State game. And he's like, "It can't be that much." I'm like, "Oh yeah?"
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I said, like for this game coming up against Ohio State, for the nosebleed seats, are still almost $300 a piece. Ohio is suing Mayorkas and DHS for not allowing them to have access to data that allows them to verify votes are not illegals. Good. Especially after the video I watched earlier today where they're issuing people who are coming in through California driver's license and social security cards. And these people have taken no test to prove they can fucking drive. They're causing all kinds of accidents and problems, which is helping the insurance industry because it's driving insurance rates up. They're loving that. And they don't talk English. So, yeah, it's just remember, here's your daily reminder. Your government fucking hates you.
Oh, hey, they're here to help. What the hell are
Yeah.
you talking about? They're here to help.
They're here to help themselves find people that they can, get to be faithful servants. But say what you will about Ronald Reagan, he just like any other president, they all have their issues.
Right?
But no truer words were said than the scariest thing you'll ever hear is I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Because at that point, you're about to get fucked.
Of course.
Okay, I'm going to have to close that door. The wind's going to drag it across. Did they accidentally catch a vertebrae on you there, Sig? Because I know that my doctor accidentally stabbed me in the vertebrae with a needle and made me want to jump out off the table. But I held it together. He actually kind of joking with me, he said, you're one of the best patients I've had, because he said, I have patients that I can't even get the Novocaine in without them, screaming. I'm like, I have a pretty high pain tolerance. And he said, you must have, because he said, I felt that when I fought you. I said, yeah, I said, I felt that too. And we both just sat there and laughed. So, but, yeah, you do what you gotta do to try and make yourself feel better. You never want to stop moving forward. I've had numerous people sit there and say, why do you keep having surgery? Why do you keep having surgery? Have you not been paying attention? Are you new to this journey? Every surgery I've had has helped to make life a little bit better than what it was. So, if I start having surgeries and they don't help, then I'll sit there and say, no, I'm done, Yeah, so I was going to say, I don't know. I was surprised they still did the injection with your finger looking like that because, yeah, that's kind of rough. And I figured they'd be afraid of an infection. But I guess as long as it looks clean and healthy, I guess they can still do it. Damn, why am my mouth's drying out so much today? I don't know why.
Dehydrated. Drugs.
Could be the drugs. I mean, I'm literally on legal fentanyl.
Well, I can tell you what would help with dehydration, but most people don't do it, so.
Dave!
Hi, Dave.
Dave says, good afternoon. It is a good afternoon. It's not really cold at the moment. There's a nice breeze going. And I've got a lot full of kitty cats. They were MMAing earlier, but Caitlin called them and stopped all that. So sorry, Dave. I'll see if I can rile them up a little bit for you. Hi, Thomas. Thomas just popped in. Good afternoon,
Hey,
sir. How
Tom.
are you? Do you prefer being called Tom or Thomas? I should ask you that.
I call him Thomas all the time on Discord.
Yeah, I do too. I don't want to call somebody they don't want something they don't want to be called unless you piss me off. Then it's fair
just
game.
don't call.
Call whatever.
Just don't call me late for dinner, and I'm good.
That's what I said the other day when they were talking about Jay. When we were over on Skipper's channel, the one guy was asking about Jay, and they were like, "Is it Jay? How do you?" Well, and I'm like, "Just don't call him late for dinner. He'll be fine."
Right. Call him anything.
Sig says, infection definitely got brought up. Said whatever I do, keep it up for what it is. It's not looking bad. A few more days, it'll be skinned over and dry. Can't wait for the dry.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Open air right now is probably your best friend with that to help promote skin growth. You want to make sure you keep it. You don't want to put lotions or anything on it. Neosporin would probably be good.
Why?
Why?
Mm-hmm.
I just always use Neosporin on open wounds like that.
Ugh.
Unless you have the what is it? That lawn lettuce or something that's in your yard, you can go out and mash that up and use that as a natural pain reliever.
Oh, the wild lettuce.
Yeah, wild lettuce, that's what it is. Jamie's belly's happy. That's good.
What'd you have to eat, Jamie?
Did you guys that are in Chris's Ohana's food group see that jalapeno popper pizza?
No, I did not. But I will be looking for that.
Oh, that's. Let me
Because
go.
I have these, and I have these because I had to,
salvage them.
yeah. So, jalapeno poppers wrapped in bacon will be tomorrow's project.
Oh, here we go. They posted in there, which steak is the best? They've got T-bone, New York strip, ribeye, or porterhouse. They don't have the best steak in there.
Ribeye.
And of course, now I can't think of the damn name of it.
What, a filet mignon?
No, that's too small. Oh shit! They're almost like a tenderloin kind of steak. I can't think of it right now.
They're not having you do a wet to dry on that stick?
Thomas said, what? No way, and you didn't share? You didn't share what? Thomas says ribeye, yeah.
The jalapeno popper pizza.
Well, I'll He didn't make it. Somebody else made it. It's a video showing it how to make it.
And it's on his food lovers page.
Yeah. Damn it! Why can't I think of the name of that damn steak? It'll come to me later.
Brain fart. Yeah, don't be calling me at 2 o'clock in the morning when it comes to you. All right.
Hey, Cora, I remember what it was now.
I
I'm
remember
gonna
what it was.
fucking smack the shit out of you. National Pickle Day is November 14th. Oh, that's kind of gross.
What? Didn't catch that, Cora. A wet to dry dressing to keep that a little moist.
One slurp of faux per trick-or-treater. They've got a bucket of stuff out there. It's got onions and all kinds of stuff in it. Here we go. No mashed potatoes or biscuits, Chris says. Ohana says. So you can't pick either of the two things, okay? It says what tastes delicious with gravy on it other than mashed potatoes
Or biscuits.
or biscuits.
Stuffing. Dressing.
I'm just going to say regular turkey.
Cube steaks. Any meat.
Let's see what they're saying in here.
Squirrel.
Hi, Maureen. How are you? Maureen is a friend of mine from out in Arizona.
It's been a while since Maureen's joined us.
Well, she listens. She's usually like, especially the morning show. She's like, "You're on way too early." I'm like, "Well,
Yes, you are.
Can't help it. You're 3 hours behind me." But I get it. I get it.
Yes, the gravy is good on anything.
Yeah, that's what Siggy's saying over there. Jamie says nothing like a nice comfy bed to relax on. Until you doze off and then you don't get anything done that you wanted to get done. That's my problem. So, all
I
right.
don't lay
Next,
down during the day.
the most
Next.
overrated food you're convinced people are just pretending to enjoy. So what's something that you see other people eating that you're sitting there going, "There's no way they like that"?
Sushi.
Did you answer on here? No, you didn't. But that's what. There's like 3 people that have put sushi down already.
Yeah.
I
think sushi sucks.
I put down head cheese.
Ugh.
That's just
My
gross.
dad used to eat head cheese. That is just gross.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, man, that's a whole nother generational thing.
Yeah, that head cheese and pickled pig's feet. My dad used to take and get those in jars and just sit there and eat them with like hot banana peppers.
Cool, Jamie. Jamie said she got more than needed done today. Accomplished.
Good.
There you go. Awesome.
I always feel good when you can get something off of that list, your plate, the checklist, whatever.
All right, here's a hard one because I like all 4 of these. Okay. Sig agrees with you. Sushi for the win. Yep.
Yeah.
Thomas says lutefish.
Luke, L-U-K?
L-U-T-E, lutefish.
Lutefish.
Is that kind of like
I've ever had that.
fish, the Jewish dish with carp? Is that kind of the same thing, Thomas?
Carp's not bad if you get them young and get that mud vein out.
Wait, I think Thomas, you're talking about that stuff from what is it? Sweden. That really nasty fish. I know what he's talking about now. The the office blokes did a challenge where one of them had to eat the head off of one of them
Ugh.
and like threw up in the parking lot. All right. Out of these four things, one of them you have to get rid of one of them. The first one is burgers. Second one is tacos. Third one is pizza. And the fourth one is wings.
Burgers,
Really?
burgers or pizza.
I'd
Yep.
be either wings or tacos, I think.
No.
Because wings, you've got to, it's just way too much work for the little bit of meat you get out of them, in my
No. I'll
opinion.
take. That's like me and crab. I will crack crab all day long. I will give up them hamburgers though.
Oh, wow. Congratulations, Dave.
What
Dave
Davy
said,
do?
forgot. Dave said, forgot to tell you, is Ray and I hit 16 years sober on 9/11 from the alcohol. That's awesome,
Woohoo!
bud.
That is awesome, Dave.
Is Chubbs getting a drink? No, never mind. I know what it is. Sig said, congratulations, Dave. That's huge.
That's very huge. I'm proud of both you and Ray, Dave.
Yep, I'm proud of anybody who's been, stay sober. You need to be proud of yourselves. Big accomplishment. There's many, many people who don't accomplish that, and worse than that, they end up dying from their addiction to it. Um,
Now, if we could just put down the cigarettes, right?
yeah, gonna die of something. So if you enjoy it, that's what Mom says. Mom says I enjoy it, so I ain't giving it up. I'm like, well, she's
I have an
65
ex.
now, so
I have an ex-husband who quit smoking, and 6 months later, he was diagnosed with lung cancer.
wow.
I have my own theories about that. I think I got so much shit in my lungs by now that cancer probably won't grow.
So somebody else in the group made bacon wrapped meatloaf. That sounds really good.
Oh, I've seen that.
But you know what would be even better? Do the bacon wrapped, but also do the stuffed. Have you seen that where they make a
Put the
compartment
cheeses in
inside?
it.
Yep. I'm thinking like maybe like a cheddar broccoli in there would be good. Because have
I
you
don't
ever had
know.
cheddar broccoli with bacon in it?
Yeah.
That's really good. So I think cutting into that and getting a nice big gooey thing of cheddar broccoli cheese would be really. Mm,
I would
nom nom.
think about some mozzarella.
Mozzarella would be good because it won't spill out as easy. It's more of a stringy cheese.
Right.
All right, here's what we've been waiting for. Let me make sure I get this up here so y'all can see it. He's got pepperoni in the middle. And now he's putting the jalapenos all around the outside. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And then he puts cheese on the inside over the pepperoni, and he pipes the cream cheese into the halves of the,
Oh, and
and he
covers it.
covers it and puts sauce and cheese on top with more pepperoni.
Mm.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo,
Up,
Mike.
up. Wait, look, we're talking food. Mike had to come say hi.
Yeah, of course,
You know,
man.
I think I would do, and this is just me, but I think I would do that first layer of cream cheese sausage like I used to stuff my peppers with,
Yeah.
and
What the
crumble up
hell?
some bacon in there, and then the pepperoni and the sauce
Bacon.
and stuff.
What the fuck are these idiots doing out here?
Oh, Mike, and for your wisecrack this morning, I love you too, baby. A whole big bunch.
Right back at you, sweetheart.
Really, you asshole?
Who
The
you
neighbor's
calling an
over here.
asshole?
The neighbor's over here fucking blowing his big rig horn.
I don't hear it.
I don't hear it.
That's because this has that noise canceling on. Remember, I can walk through the window and you guys can't even hear
Can't hear it from
Chubbs.
my house.
All right. Jamie's drooling at the pizza.
At the pizza, I know that pizza did look good. I'd try it.
Wait, what did Sig say? I was good till the cream cheese irk.
You don't
Well,
like cream
use
cheese,
a
Sig?
ricotta. You can use a ricotta cheese instead. Hey, Worrell, how you doing, buddy?
Hey,
Worrell just
Tyler.
popped in. Now this I'd
Sorry,
be really interested in.
Sorry, I cut out on Tyler early Saturday night, but I was whooped.
I absolutely freaking love pineapple upside down cake. So
My
I would love
mom can make
these.
some mean pineapples upside. Oh, are those the cookies?
Yeah. Pineapple upside down drop sugar cookies. They look really good. So
Gotta quit teasing us, Chris. I expect they'll fit in a box. And you know what they say? If it fits, it ships.
Jamie says now I want jalapeno poppers.
They're good too.
I'm horrible. I cause all kinds of issues, don't I? So I don't know. I want to say something, but I don't know if I should. Worrell says, no worries, I'm about to cook salmon with a baked potato. Yummy. Do you do your salmon on damn it, on a cedar plank?
Jalapeno poppers are on the list for tomorrow, Jamie. You coming?
I gotta message somebody quick and ask if I can talk about their situation before I talk about it. I don't like doing that, you know what I mean, without them knowing.
Well, if it's a personal situation, then maybe we don't need to know.
If it's me, is it me?
No, not you, buddy.
Okay.
Did you have a good bike ride to go see your friend?
I did have a good bike ride. She loved her little gnome.
Yeah, I showed Katie that, and she's like, "Oh, that's so cute."
That's a badass little gnome.
I knocked that out in like about 5 hours.
Very nice. You're a very talented man, sir.
And I had no idea. I had no idea I was going to do that when I went out there this morning. But thank you anyway.
Yeah.
I was going to leave it in her room. I was going to try and slip it out and let it lay on her table or something on the way out. But she was alone. Or she had her own room. There wasn't nobody else in there with her. And I just didn't get a chance to sneak it out of my pocket and get it to her. Oh, there goes the corn across the street. There's the combine, got the fucking big truck over there.
All kinds of dust.
Oh, yeah. It's better than in the springtime when they go there and everything smells like shit around here.
Well, that'll be here soon because they'll put some out there to plow in before the winter week goes down.
Yeah.
Worrell says he puts blackened seasoning and cooks it in a pan on the stove.
That sounds good. Right. I like blackened seasoning.
Cool part is I'll be able to see my deer a lot easier now.
There you go.
They'll be all over the fucking place over there eating that shit. Hopefully Chris isn't over there hunting. His truck ain't out there right now, which is good.
We used to go a couple miles north of here. There's a farm, huge farm, and I think it's like 500 acres. And he doesn't let hardly anybody hunt on his property.
Yeah.
And you could go up there with binoculars and easily see 100 to 200 deer just walking through his cornfields.
Yeah. I videotaped over 40, like 2 years after I moved in here. It was crazy. All my friends are like, yo, man, let me ask your landlord if I can come down there and hunt. I'm like, I doubt it. He got one guy he lets hunt down here.
Yeah. Sig says they're redoing our parking lot today. Been tearing it up with a big ass backhoe.
Oh, cool.
I miss playing with my excavator. I used to run a Komatsu, what was it, 7500 series or 8000 series.
Oh, shit.
Big motherfucker. And yeah, I miss playing with that.
Oh, I bet.
I miss playing with the giant shredder too. We had a shredder where you just drop shit in and it tears up the steel drums and everything.
Yeah.
So that's why I said with my skill sets for maintenance and heavy equipment and stuff like that, if I was able to work right now, I'd easily be making $40 to $50 an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And
You're damn near getting a supervisor position of some sort.
I was a super up there.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool. That's good money.
A
lot of weight on your shoulders, though.
Yeah, I had a fuck off on my shift that.
Yeah.
I sent him home one time and got in trouble for sending him home.
Comes back and bite you right in the ass, yeah.
Well, he kept wearing headphones while driving his forklift.
Yeah.
And I said, you can't be doing that. You're going to hurt somebody because you're not going to hear him.
Right.
And I caught him doing it a second time. So I told him, I said, if you're not going to fucking listen to me, I said, just go the fuck home. I said, I don't need you.
Yeah.
I said, I'll work the extra hours to cover the little bit of shit that you're doing.
Huh.
I just.
Ooh, good.
I'm an asshole supervisor. I'm the type of person that I expect to be able to come up to you, teach you how to do something, and expect you to do it without me having to fucking babysit you.
Yeah, yeah.
And
you an asshole?
Who would have guessed, right?
Hey, you gotta be like that too, or then people be fucking. You'll never have a minute of peace.
Yeah.
You know.
We took in. They just got a new drum system in because they wanted to start recycling all the metal drums that we were using. So they got this punch in, a hydraulic punch, where you just pull it down, it pushes down and pops the tops in. And then you pull that out and crush the drum after you dump it. And I'm back there, I teach this guy how to fucking do it. I said, you just do it. Once it pops, you stop, you pull it back up, right? And I'm like, it's not hard. I said, don't push the head all the way down through the drum. I said,
that's what I say all the time.
But
I knew you'd get that, Mike.
I got it there. But just change drum for box, right?
Right?
Yeah.
But
stay away from the esophagus.
But I know what I'm doing.
This son of a bitch got that fucking thing stuck 12 times in one night.
Wow.
Making me have to go get a fucking sawzall and cut the damn drums off of this damn thing.
Oh my God.
And then I get in trouble because we're not getting stuff done as fast as it should be.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, then get me somebody better. I said, this guy's a fucking peckerhead.
Yeah.
He was related to the day shift supervisor is what the problem was.
Oh yeah, yeah. That makes it 10 times worse, man.
One of those who you know and not what you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
That always. That's why I would never want a supervisor position like that, because most of the time it's a pain in the ass, and then you get a situation like that where you're just screwed. You know what I mean? Either way, that you either get in trouble because production's down, or you get in trouble because you fire them because they're causing production to fall short.
well, I mean, it wouldn't have bothered production. I always made sure everything got done, whether we had to stay an extra couple, 2 or 3 hours, it still got done.
Yeah.
Um, and the day shift supervisor actually got fired before I got laid off. So, yeah. But
The only shit I ever operated was a big old clamp truck. It was a
I've done that.
Clark. That thing was old as shit. Had to unload these big ass rolls of paper from train cars and tractor trailers. And he used to take them in, and you could lift them like a quarter-inch off of the ground, hit release on the clamps, and it would shake almost the entire building. Like,
Wow.
I used to get in so much. Yeah, they were huge. They were like 6 feet across, 6 feet tall. They were paper for making cardboard boxes.
Nice.
So
Or
they were huge, man. My freaking supervisor would come running down through there with their fucking little arms flailing, and I was sitting there going, "Oops." She's like, "One more oops tonight, and you're done." Yeah, 20 minutes later, boom, boom, bam, bam.
whoops.
Yeah.
See ya.
It was a bitch getting the first couple rolls out of the train cars, the way they put them in there, because
Yeah.
you couldn't just get the clamps in there to get that first roll. But once you got the first roll out, it was a cakewalk.
Yeah.
It was a
Especially because you don't want to bitch up the paper.
no, you certainly can't bitch up the paper. But it was a
So you
big
gotta,
ass clamp truck. It was a Clark, and I mean that thing was probably a 19 late 60s, early 70s clamp truck. It
I
was
got you.
it was fucking huge, man.
We had when I worked at the block plant, we had a 1940s uh forklift that we had to use.
Damn,
I love that thing. That thing never fucking broke, man. We could.
damn.
One guy ran it into the fucking wall. I'm like,
Oh
what the
shit.
fuck's wrong with you?
Well,
Um,
the Clark, you could pick up 3 rolls. Your ass end would be extremely light. Like you
yeah,
wouldn't be able to turn fast or nothing. And then they had this stupid little Toyota one. You could barely pick up one full roll. Your ass would be up in the ground, up in the air, and then you got no steering. Like
yeah.
it was a pain in the ass. I hated. I usually didn't have to run the Toyota. I was on the Clark all the time. Thank God.
We
But it was a fun job.
we took in used to get something. There was a fragrance company down in New Jersey. They used to send us their drums when they were done with it. And the best night ever was the entire plant smelled like green apple Jolly Rancher.
Oh shit!
I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite flavor right there.
Yep. I'm like, I could deal with this all the time, you know? Okay,
I
so
didn't.
I was given the okay to do this. All right. So let me make sure I get this perfectly right because I don't want to fuck anything up here. I'm doing bad today. I said the F word more tonight than I have all day.
You're fucking crazy.
I've thrown out the F bomb a couple of times today.
Is it this
I'm
one?
fluid. I'm fluid in F bomb. I can use it as an adjective, an adverb, a noun.
Oh, I've
Anything.
used it many. I'll tell you what. I think I've made an entire sentence of it with just the F word.
Did you ever hear that song about the F word?
The versatility of the F word, or what is it? but how the F word in the English language, I think there's something out called that that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it wasn't a song. It was it would tell you how you can use it, like in different ways. You know, like Jimmy's
the
fucking off.
The word fuck is the most versatile word in the English language. Isn't that how it starts out?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it does. It's been a long time since I heard it, though.
Oh, you got Dave all worked up over there, Corey.
Yeah, I saw that. I told him, I says, I'll try to behave, maybe.
All right. So this is from Lori. Okay.
Hi, Cal.
For
Okay.
those of you who don't know who Lori is our vice president of our foundation. And I've dated Lori for almost 15 years.
Poor Lori.
Right? I think it's bad having to deal with me like this. Imagine dealing with me every day.
Aye.
Hi, Cal. Wow, my chat's just like fucking jumping. It's
What's
like
up, Cal?
there and then it jumps way up.
Okay, Chris, squirrel.
Okay, so Lori's dad was diagnosed with cancer again, lung cancer. And he had a PET scan last week, and today they went and got the results of that. And the results are the lymph node on the right side is gone, which is good. And the other side, where the big spot of cancer is inactive.
That's good.
So, and the main cancer has not grown, but is responding to the chemo. They're going to start him on radiation. They were actually going to the appointment to find out when they're going to start him on that. I haven't gotten that information yet.
Cool.
But
good to hear.
She wanted to thank everyone for the prayers.
Prayers are still warranted. Keep them
Yes.
coming.
Yep.
But she wanted to say thank you to everyone, and she told me to give you all an update. So, being as a family as we are, family oriented, wins like that, we need to
Celebrate.
Celebrate.
Ring the bell.
So, alrighty, let me see here. Where's Cal at? There.
Cal's in Oklahoma.
Yep, I agree, Jamie. Fuck cancer.
Yeah.
I've known many people who have been affected by cancer, and it's just
Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, there went my F-bomb. Fertilize.
Yeah. There's Cal.
Yep, here I am. I don't
Hi,
get
Cal.
out in the afternoons, but
Well.
I happen to be available today, mostly because it's quite warm and I don't want to be doing a whole lot of work. Because I'm being a stubborn brat. I refuse to run my air conditioner past the 1st of September.
Oh, God damn.
so your rule is, instead of not wearing white after Labor Day, it's I'm not running the air conditioner after Labor Day, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. My dad was the same way.
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't
mine.
used mine, but I don't live in Oklahoma where it's like really a lot more.
Upsy downs.
Hell,
Yeah, well, I grew up around Chicago, so same thing. After the 1st of September, we rarely got a warm day.
You all see a certain podcast that's been removed completely? Wait, what? I gotta go see this shit.
Oh, did they remove Rogan's podcast with Trump? Oh, those they're
Is
just
it
so
on
salty.
YouTube or did they take it off of Spotify too?
They're just so salty. The system is scared.
It's
I
still
love
on
to see it.
Spotify.
Who watched that Trump rally?
We all did.
Me. We did.
That's
We were on
it.
Discord
That's it.
last night watching it.
Yeah, we
That's
were all
it.
I
talking
watched
about
chunks of it.
That shit was awesome when after Melania spoke and like the crowd went crazy for her.
Oh God, yes. Who wouldn't?
And the fact she got the #1 selling book up there. But it
Tell
was
Tom.
so cool.
Book.
It was so cool when she introduced Donald and he came out while dude was singing. It just the
You know
way
who
they
that is,
carried
don't you?
them, just the way that Lee Greenwood, ain't it?
Yep.
Yeah, the way
You
they
know how
carried
old he is?
the way they carried themselves while he was singing up there. You know, they didn't look like politicians at all. They looked like two people that loved each other, like real people, like not fucking
Right.
cardboard cutout shit. I mean, it was just amazing. And the way he talked about,
Yeah, Dave and Thomas were all excited when Melania come out.
yeah, she had that crowd
A lot of
crazy.
men were.
Yeah, that was
Well,
pretty cool. Man.
I still say Elon tried to get a hug from Melania and was disappointed when he didn't. I just thought his body language when
He's a nerd, and she's basically the captain of the cheerleading squad.
Yeah.
Of course,
She
he's
was-
going to be
Right.
disappointed, even if
She-
she's, married to the head of the football team. It don't matter.
She gave him the look.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he looked disappointed.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'd hug Elon, and then we'd stand there and we'd hold hands and jump up and down. He just reminds me of a giddy kid. I know
Yes.
he has the Asperger's, but he just reminds me of a giddy kid, and I love that about him.
Mm-hmm.
He's got vital energy, and I hope he stays this giddy kid well into his 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
You know, who wouldn't want a guy
As
that's
long as
obsessed with freaking space travel, who has the energy of a 25-year-old at 75 going, let's go into space. Hey, we made it to Mars. Let's see if we can do Venus.
Yeah.
Right?
I want to hear him say we're going to Uranus.
You're right.
With our current level of technology, if we can get ion engines working the way that they're supposed to theoretically work, we might be able to explore the entire solar system within the lifetime of an average human being. And I'm talking out to Uranus. Uranus and Neptune, because anything beyond that is the Oort cloud, and that is quite a distance away.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, the gas giant should be possible with an ion engine. Mind you, we're not going to be going as fast as Star Trek, nowhere near that.
No.
But we could potentially cut the travel time down to, Neptune or Uranus to as little as 10 years, 20 years, something like that. That's within, it's within the realm of a human being's lifespan. You train them up to be a scientist. They get to sign up for one mission for their entire life. It takes them maybe 15 years to get out there. They spend 5 years doing research, takes them 15 years to get back. They spent 35 years out there. They were 25 when they left. They'll be like, 60 when they get
I don't
back?
care how close your ass is to me. I'm not going there.
How is it? Fred says, as long as it's not past the first knuckle, it's not gay. Where's Fred at? I'm making fun of me even here to sit.
Knuckles
To defend himself.
No, Chris is right about one thing that he said earlier this morning. I do like coming here and spending time with y'all and just talking.
Yeah, that's the best
Just
part
shooting
of
the
it.
shit.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes we cover
And
something
then-
important.
Then there's me, the inappropriate one, whenever I get the chance.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well, none of us are inappropriate, right?
Yeah.
You're a perfect lady, Cora.
oh, thank you.
12 o'clock. I'm like
You don't know
12.
me very well.
He ain't been paying attention.
That's right.
Nah, I'm just lying through my teeth.
Okay, I figured.
A little sarcasm there, you're saying.
No, not sarcasm, just an outright lie.
Yeah, I'm just me. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we expect you to be.
Yes, we are a very dysfunctional family here, but we love it.
Yep.
That's the great thing about our group. We're going to be going through a lot of crap in the next couple of months.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. We're going to be
And-
going through a lot of shit until January gets here.
Oh,
Depending.
yeah.
Depending.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. Now, my mom never used to be this way, but she's been watching a lot of Fox News, and naturally, she's been talking to me and my
Of course.
tinfoil hat sometimes, you know. And she said last night she called me after the rally was over. Oh yeah, I had the great this that, you know, everybody did good. And then she said, and she always calls me by my middle name when she's serious. She's like, Cora Jane, have you thought about this? She said, you always say Joe won the election from the basement, that he didn't get out and campaign or anything.
Yep.
And she said, do you think Kamala's not answering anybody's questions because she knows it's already in the bag?
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah, we're all
whoa,
thinking
Mom.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all thinking that, but honestly, my opinion's turning against that because the moves of some of the bigger movers and shakers on the second and third rows of the deep state's evil, mostly the tech giants and Bezos especially. Bezos is out for Bezos. He doesn't give a shit who's in charge as long as he's making that green. That is the only thing that is ever on his mind. But he is now saying, nope, we got to hire conservative reporters at the Washington Post. We got to do more conservative things at Amazon. Got to go, guys. See you later. Sig.
Ever since Andy Jassy took over Amazon, stepped up because Bezos pretty much left it to him.
Yeah.
They have gone so far left. I mean, he shut down the website that Trump was on, and I forget which one it was, because they used Amazon Web Services for it.
Or was it
Something.
Win?
No, not that one. I don't know. I forget which one it was. But it was like he was so far left. I mean, you know, to where they were paying for people to travel if they needed to go get an abortion. They were paying for people to travel if you wanted, you know, your sex changed. They just went so far. I'd have to go in. They kept sending me emails to change my profile. They wanted me to add in my pronouns. So me being me,
fuck you.
you know, I go in and change it every week. 1 week I was a unicorn. The next week I was a pole. The next week I identified as a car. You know, the next week I mean, it was just like, how freaking stupid.
Yeah.
And any email I got from like corporate, they always had their name at the bottom of it, and then it was they, them, or he, she, or we, whatever. You know, it was like, what the hell is this stupid shit? Oh yeah,
I would have put 2 middle fingers as my pronoun.
Well, I didn't want to get fired.
My pronouns are fuck me.
Yeah.
Something like that. I would have done something like that. But no,
my pronoun is conspiracy theorist. I told you so.
Yeah.
Or the old classic
conspiracy no more.
But no, with Bezos making these kind of moves, the tech heads of Google and all those other tech companies starting to cozy up to Trump, if they're the ones that are making the move first to go, hey, you know what, maybe we ought to smoke 'em peace pipe with Big Orange Man, otherwise we're gonna get scalped. If they're doing that, the fix is not in. It may be there, and we still have to do our part and vote, but it's not a sure thing. If it was a sure thing, they'd just completely ignore all this, and Bezos wouldn't even give a crap. He would just be the big fat billionaire that he is, and just continue printing money. You know,
I see your
that's
point.
what
And the fact that the Washington Post did not endorse a candidate this year for the first time in many years. And of course, you know, all the
in and of itself is an
reporters are in there
Trump.
crying about it.
Yes.
I'd love for him to just say, fuck you little bitches, and just come out with an outright endorsement of Trump. That would be hilarious.
It would be, but they're not going to do
Give
that.
him a little time. He may just at the last minute. But the fact that all of this is going on behind the scenes on the second and third rows, like I said, don't just pay attention to the first row. The first row is all the talking heads. You know, there's Joy Behar and
you mean the ones that called us all Nazis yesterday?
Yeah.
Right.
Or Keith Olbermann, Mrs. Keith Olbermann.
That fucking weirdo.
Yeah, that's why I say Mrs. Keith Olbermann. I've actually got a little video from 2016. If I can find it, I may not have it anymore. I think it got deleted by accident, but if I still have it, I'll try and find it for you, Chris. It's him, but it's sped up so he sounds like a chipmunk, and it's right after the 2016 election, and it's him saying "scum, Russian scum" over and over again. Just hilarious. But the point is that the first row is the talking heads, the people like Kamala, the politicians. Yeah, look what they're doing because they're the ones that are actually taking action. It's the second and third row, the seats behind them, the ones that actually have puppet strings on the first row. When they start to panic, when they start to make moves, that's when you need to pay attention. Nancy Pelosi is kind of on both rows at the same time because of all of her stocks and all the shit she does with the stock market. You know, that's
Hi, Daniel.
Hi, everybody.
Sorry.
But yeah, my point is that when you look at the second and third rows and see what they're doing, if they're starting to panic, if they're starting to cozy up to Trump, if they're starting to try and break away from the far left just so that they don't get targeted when the cultural nukes go off, then you know, hey, maybe this isn't as sure a thing as they thought it was. Something is fucky behind the scenes besides just the, you know, we're watching you now and all that sort of thing and the moves we've made towards election integrity, which aren't what we could have done, but it's certainly better than nothing. Something is going on. They are not sure about the cheat this time. That's what I'm trying to say. As long as we do our part and vote as hard as we freaking can, give Trump the popular vote, give him every possible swing state, make it too big to rig, as we've been saying, or just, you know, too big for them to really, you know, make them scared. And I said this in another video somewhere, and I think it was like one of the Second Amendment guys that I follow, I forget now, but the system is made of cowards and insects. This is what you have to understand. They are cowards and insects. Once you start turning on the light, once you start pushing back against them, the more that run away inspire more of them to run away. With Trump saying we're going to prosecute everybody that's involved in election fraud and so on and so forth, when a couple of them start running away, the more cowardly ones behind them are like, well, shit, if they're running, I better get the hell out of here too. So
like rats from a ship.
Yeah,
Right.
That's what
the more we advance on the enemy, the smaller and smaller they will get until we're left with nothing but a little anthill. We just got to keep pushing. And for once in this entire election cycle, I actually have some hope. Not because of the polls, not because of what the swing states are doing, not because of the Fifth Circuit Court's judgment on you can't count votes past election day. No, it's the fact that Bezos is panicking, Google is panicking, Apple is panicking. They're all starting to panic. The ones with the money, the ones that actually have the puppet strings in their hands are starting to panic. When
the ones that are going to lose some money financially, lose some ass financially.
Yeah, or they might lose a chunk of skin. You know, Trump might go up to him with a nice big knife and say, okay, time for your pound of flesh. We know what you were fucking doing all this time. It's time for you to pay up. Come on. I'm advancing towards you with Italian intent. We're going to have a record. When they start to panic and break away and they go, please, Trump, please don't kill us. That's when you know things are looking up. That's really when you know when things are looking up. You know, you can quote every single poll in the world saying that one side is winning or the other side is winning. Polls don't mean shit, especially the way that most places take polls. You know, they have their own group of
They're
people.
always biased. They're always biased.
Always.
You know, if the right side's telling you the polls, they're exaggerating them in their favor. If the left's doing it, same thing.
Exactly. So that's why I say polls, you can take them all, throw them together in a blender and take it with a pinch of salt. It makes a good mojito. But if you really want to know what's going on, look at the ones that have the money. Look at the ones that are in the positions of power in commerce and industry. Look at what they're doing. If they're starting to make moves, pay attention to which way they're moving. If they started moving their money offshore, you know, move their stocks and bonds by, you know, a house in the Bahamas or whatever the fuck, that's an indication they're thinking that the left is going to win and they want to hide their wealth away from the inevitable communist seizure of wealth one way or another through taxes or whatever the fuck. Doesn't matter. They're trying to hide their money more than usual. But if they're going, nope, let's try and make peace with Trump.
Daniel said, if I claim to be a they, them, can I vote twice?
Yeah.
Well, if you're a them, that implies you're more than one person.
If you have multiple personalities, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, vote once is
Tell 'em
evil
you've got-
Elmo, and
Tell them you
Oh,
have
yeah.
500. Tell them you have 500 personalities, and each one of them wants to vote.
Cool
Yep.
enough.
So, I posted a video on YouTube. Let me pin it here quick. That is from my local television station talking about the election fraud that they caught here in my county. I think it's
Yep.
8,000 illegal
Mm-hmm.
voter registrations.
Heard 1,200. I think it was.
No, it's more than that.
What'd you
yeah.
hear it on? What station?
Fox-
I watched
Fox 43.
27. I watched 27.
That's that. The link here is the actual press conference from Fox 43.
Okay. Yeah,
So everything
I don't,
that I was told was directly from the Attorney General and commissioners and stuff.
Yep.
I used to watch Fox 43, and then I switched to 21 for the longest time. And my landlord, him and his wife, they watch 27. And since me and my landlord talk a lot, I started watching 27, so we were on the same page, you know. But they're all. I hate Channel 8. I won't watch Channel 8. Like I have to be extremely freaking jealous, or not jealous. What's the word I'm looking for there? Desperate for some fucking news, which is obviously not going to be real news. It's going to be some fucking fairy tale.
Can you see these two cuddled up to each other?
Yes. That is
Yeah,
the
we
cutest.
see that.
It just
And
means
then
I'd
over
have to
here-
adopt them both.
Got a big
Whenever-
old hairball going on there.
This one here, if I move my leg, this one's gonna fall.
I love it when cats balance like that.
See if they land on their feet.
Nah, it wouldn't land on his foot. I guarantee you that.
Nope, he'd be scratching his way down Chris's poor leg.
I don't know. I've seen.
That's why I have the. That's why I have the sweatpants on, because my legs. If you saw my fucking legs right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. I've seen some cats do some pretty crazy falls and usually land on their feet, like amazingly enough.
When Cinder got
good
out
internal
one time,
gyroscope.
Cinder got out one time, and I had to catch him. And when I caught him, he freaked the fuck out because he was so scared. Once he got out, he didn't know what to do. And when I grabbed him, he flipped around, and I have a scratch that starts from here. I have a scar from this. It goes all the way down across my stomach, where he just tore me the fuck up. Andrea is just happy that Ohio is doing my Orcus in the VHS.
I was waiting to get tore up the one time. Eddie was in the house, and the landlord's son was over, had a shepherd, and the shepherd was on the back porch here, and I was either coming in or out, and for some stupid reason, Eddie went jetting out the door. The shepherd chased him over to this pear tree. Eddie was at the top of this pear tree, like in no time, dude. Elon Musk don't have rockets that go up that fast. So my landlord had to go get this extension ladder. I think it was probably a 40-foot extension ladder. I just got done. I wasn't even over healing from a hyperextended knee. I'm gimping my way up this fucking ladder. I'm almost at the top. Fully extended, 40 foot. And I noticed Eddie's like 6 feet beyond the ladder. And I'm thinking, how in the hell is this going to work? I got to get up in these tiny little branches. And I was waiting for Eddie to like latch onto my face like that thing from Alien. but you know, it went really good. He was really, really gentle, I guess is the only way to put it. And I managed to get back down to the ladder and then back down all 40 foot of ladder. It was, dude, he was up that tree. It's just fucking amazing. He was at the tippy top, dude. He couldn't have gone another foot higher because he was in tiny branches.
He would have looked like a Wile E. Coyote if he would have went a little higher.
Yeah. It was crazy.
I'm up. So Dave, you were asking me you were asking me one time about my drumming. So we were cleaning my room. Oh, Andrea wants to slap the shit out of my orchestra. It sounds like we won't tell on you.
Got my vote. Need some brass knuckles
Pay-per-view.
at all? I got some brass knuckles laying around over here.
Are
Make
those
it worth
legal
your
in
while.
Pennsylvania?
Huh?
Are those
Probably
legal
not,
in
but
Pennsylvania?
I have no idea. I still got them. I got nunchucks.
Okay.
I got fucking throwing stars. I got all kind of crazy shit.
Okay. Just asking. That's when you said you had a set of brass knuckles around, it reminded me of something my stepdad bought just to stick it in the eye of Illinois.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't a huge gun and weapons guy, but at the same time, he thought a lot of the laws were bullshit. So he would buy these weird things just to screw with the state. One of the things he bought was a wine corker, right?
Okay.
But it was shaped like a slightly miniatured pair of brass knuckles. Like you obviously couldn't fit your fingers in there and turn it into a real set of brass knuckles.
Right.
But
Right.
you could wrap your hand around the whole thing and it would act like a fist stiffener if you really wanted to use it that way. And if you did, sticking out right between here would be the corkscrew.
Yeah.
So
Pull somebody's eye out.
Yeah, well, it just caused some damage. I mean, even if the corkscrew
Didn't they
part
do
snaps
that?
off, you still got a fist stiffener. Add some
Didn't
weight
they
to your
do
punch.
that in The Equalizer? That one part
I
where
don't know, I
he
didn't
didn't
see
use
it.
a great movie. Denzel Washington kicks the shit out of people. It's great, and he uses a corkscrew to take out the one Russian dude on the train. Yeah, I remember The Equalizer 2. Actually, I think it was.
This is also the reason why I have this particular lighter. It fits perfectly in my hand.
Yeah.
If I have to throw a punch, I can throw a stiffer punch. I'd prefer not to have to do that. Mind you, I am very much a pacifist. I'm not the one to go out looking for trouble. But if trouble has to find me, I want to be able to survive it.
I'd rather bust their knee.
Make it so they can't walk. Then
Just like when Sam Elliott did that in Roadhouse, and he looked at dude and he said, "Damn, that hurts, don't it?" Then he just walked around, take little pop shots at him. What'd you say, motherfucker? Bam, bam, bam. Little kick here, little punch there. They'd be spinning around like a turtle on their back.
Stomping on somebody's head while they're on the ground is considered attempted murder in Pennsylvania.
How about that?
Just so you know.
I was just walking. I didn't see his head there.
See, I wouldn't stomp on the head. I'd aim for the other head.
I'd go for hands.
Yeah, those are effective too. I mean, if they can't throw a punch, they're not going to do much.
Yeah. They can't even get the fuck up if you know.
If you do it right, yeah.
Yeah.
Shatter the right hand.
That's
bones.
what it was, Daniel. Daniel reminded me it was the office of the Russian mob. So,
yeah, I haven't seen Equalizer. The only Equalizer I know is the old one from the 80s with the
TV show.
The TV show.
Yeah, with that old dude.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. He's a famous British actor, and I cannot remember his name for the life of me now.
Yeah, I can't either. I can barely imagine what his face looks like. I know he looked kind of like the dude from A-Team, the old dude from A-Team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can envision his face perfectly because that was among the shows that my grandmother and I used to watch together.
Yeah.
Because she just thought he was so handsome. And so handsome for a younger guy than her. So, you know. She was looking at meat, and she was looking at a very, bespoke gentleman who could go around and protect people. I didn't realize until a lot later that was because after she legally divorced my grandfather back in the 70s, she dated a cop. She dated a Chicago police officer.
So you're saying she generally missed the plot, right?
Yeah, she wasn't paying too much attention. I was. I thought it was, some of this. That's how I learned that a 1911 isn't a double action pistol. There was a scene in there where, and I remember this scene perfectly, where this scared young lady has a 1911 and she's pointing it at the Equalizer, and he says, "Some semi-automatics can fire with the pull of a trigger. That one, however, cannot. You need to cock the hammer." And I'm like, The Army gun needs to have the hammer cocked.
They used to always have it. They used to always have it. If you watch any good World War II movie, because that was the main sidearm for World War II. But if you watch any good one, when it's in the holster, you'll see it in that position so that it was ready, that they could pull it and just fire.
Mm.
Yeah, the Army had issues with massive problems with, it was basically just people being stupid. At one point, they actually said you can't have a round in the chamber. Mind you, everybody ignored that rule unless an inspection was coming up. But there were a lot of problems in World War II of guys who just really hadn't been really well trained on handguns. They were shown the bitch basics and just been told, don't be stupid with it. And then they went and got stupid with it. They'd shoot themselves in the leg, shoot themselves in the foot, intentionally or by accident. There was some issues. Poor trigger discipline.
That's some funny shit right here. Says woke student flashed Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, I saw that. She
kind of cute. She kind of cute, and she
thought it would get
it
banned from YouTube.
Yeah.
That's why she did it.
Well, I ain't gonna watch it because I know it's bullshit, and I ain't gonna see her boobie anyway.
No,
if I could see her boobie, I'd watch it.
Does she actually have a figure, or is that figure more shaped like a giant basketball with legs?
No, she looks good.
No,
she looks good.
Pretty.
Oh yeah.
Take care,
Jamie. See you later, Jamie. Thomas said if you can't find the biggest thing you can and scar them. I think it's supposed to be scar them for life, but tired and now frustrated. Well, I'm sorry you're frustrated, but hopefully you can get some rest and feel better. Hopefully I didn't say something to frustrate you.
No, or I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, if I did, I own it. I will own that. That's another thing. We were talking about cultural rot. That's another thing that's happened in this country. A lot of people just won't stand up and say, hey, you know what? I've done a bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I confess I did this bad thing.
Simpson.
Yeah. I done this bad thing. Please forgive me.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
And if I did, it was your fault.
Yeah, yeah.
Lack of accountability, lack of personal accountability and personal honor. That's one thing that I want to culturally see come back in the world in general, is a sense of personal honor.
Parents have to push that, though. They have to stop babying kids and making kids think they're the center of the fucking universe.
Yeah, they're not your buddies. They're your fucking children.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay to laud your child's accomplishments, and when they fail, you have to be there to say, okay, how can we do this better? How can we improve? You're not getting good scores in math. Do I need to sit down with you and help you explain this? Because I know you can get this. It's one thing to parent them. It's another thing to say, oh, my poor precious little baby, is the school being mean to you and giving you bad marks in class? I'm going to go slap the teacher for you. But that'll get you a good grade. Or tell the teacher you've got pronouns, and if they don't give you an A+, then they're an ist. And that's what's happening. And what's bad is we've got this current crop of teachers that's
all right, take care, Laurel.
Take care. We've got this crop of teachers lately that's been going around, and this was huge. A lot of this was happening coming out like last year. A lot of teachers getting way too familiar with their students, if you know what I mean.
Wood chipper.
Wood chipper material. But a lot of them were a whole bunch of them were getting caught like all at once. One week it was a teacher from this state. Another, it was two teachers from this state. And it was just constant. And I'm like, well, Jesus Christ, what the hell? I knew there were some, we've all had a one really messed up teacher, or a few of them, or maybe the principal didn't like us, whatever. There's always been bad apples, in the educational system. But seeing so many get caught, and this is something that was taught to me in an economics class in college that I didn't have to take, but I did. But anyway, for every complaint, there are 1,000 people that keep their mouth shut. Just like with every caught criminal, there's at least 100 more that are doing it that you don't see, that don't get caught, that don't get found out. So, if we had, at least 50 or so teachers get caught last year that we know of in the national news, that's saying that there's literally over 1,000 teachers probably that are, up to 5,000 teachers that are doing nasty shit with kids that we're never going to, we won't find out about, maybe not immediately. Maybe they decide to calm down. Maybe they see, their coworkers getting caught in the news. They're like, you know what? I think I'm going to calm my libido for a few years and just, maybe crop up later. Because these people don't change. They never change.
I'll be right back. I got to put my hoodie on. I'm getting cold.
Yeah. The cats in his lap aren't doing the job.
Yeah.
The beard isn't doing the job either.
They got to move around a little.
Yeah. I mean, they make an effective fur coat, but, they got to be on the arms and shit, too.
Right.
But, yeah, what I'm saying is these people don't change. They never change. Once
Plug
they start down there.
You got to plug them cats in.
Plug them into the solar charger, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a heating pad under me, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, these things don't change. They will continue victimizing children until they're caught and dealt with.
Okay, I have a personal story about this that I'll go into real quick.
Go for it.
My aunt married a guy who had kids before they got together, and they ended up getting custody of his one son, and he was special needs, behavioral issues, just trauma, bad trauma. Hi, Ruth. Just putting this out there. This might trigger some people, so
trigger alert.
Please just understand that I'm telling this story as an educational tool. But they know that I grew up with my brother who had, behavioral issues growing up, and so I knew how to handle this stuff. So they asked me to help with the school and all this other stuff. And here we found out that the stepfather and the grandfather were both abusing the boy. And they tried to be nice to the mom and let her have visitation. And we found out that she was taking him to see, said that the same people she was not supposed to have him around. And I flipped. I told him, I said, if you have their address, you tell me it now. And they wouldn't give me the address. I was going to fuck some people up. And then it turned into they ended up getting divorced, and he decided to move to Florida, and he asked me and my aunt's son if we would take over guardianship of him while he went down and got stuff ready for them to move down there, because that's where his family was. And this kid was that bad that he actually got thrown out of a program for kids like him. The last straw apparently was in the middle of the night he stood up and just pissed all over his bed.
Damn.
And they're like, we can't handle this. And so they're like, one of you has to come pick him up. I'm like, I have a 3-year-old daughter. I said, I can't have him living with us. I said, that's not my. We tried to get a hold of the dad, and the fucker wouldn't answer. And so he took in and got awarded to the state at that point, which is probably the best thing for him, I think. But my aunt actually called me the one time, and she's like, hey, he's coming to get his stuff. Can you come over here? And I'm like, let me reiterate this really quick to you. I said, you know how I feel about him and what he did to his son. I said, do you honestly think it's a good thing for me to be there? She said, no. I said, that's probably about a good idea. I said, because I'd probably be going to jail and he'd be going to the hospital.
Yeah, if he's lucky. If he's lucky.
Well, his brother and dad were with him. I'm sure they would have jumped in.
Oh, see, that's why you need to call me and Mike in. And even the odds.
Well, didn't know you back then.
Shame you
And
didn't.
honestly, if I needed to, I think I could have taken them too. But
You are a Sasquatch.
well, back then I was even bigger and in much better shape.
Yeah, we all were back then.
Hey, what the hell's going on here? Hold on. I got
Kitty MMA.
No, this is going past Kitty MMA. Hey, whoa, stop. What the hell is wrong with you guys today?
They're getting hissy.
Okay.
Go ahead.
They're getting bitchy is what they're doing. Poor Eddie, if Eddie's over here, he's probably going, what the hell is that?
He's outside somewhere.
Mm.
He's
I
been
don't have my
outside
cats in my bedroom, so.
He's been outside all day. I'm surprised he wasn't on the porch when I pulled in. Usually he hears my Harley coming and he's at the door.
Mm.
Treats, man, treats. Human,
Oh, yeah.
The human is home.
Mm-hmm.
The treat tree.
Yeah, Mrs. Cal, she had the cats completely trained. They knew exactly when treat time was going to be. It was usually when she got up and went into the kitchen. When they heard her open the freezer, because one of her issues, she constantly had to have like a freezer pop or something because she would just get too warm. For I don't know exactly what the reason was, but she constantly had to have something to cool her down. It was just part of her sickness. But when she opened the freezer, we kept the cat treats on top of the fridge because it was, geographically isolated. There was no way they could jump up there, knock the treats off, get them into the floor, and eat them. But when they heard her open the freezer, they knew, oh, it's treat time. It's treat time. Everybody gather. No matter how many kitties we had at the time. I think the maximum we had when she was 2. But they would just run right in there, and they would wait patiently for her to get her freezer pop or whatever ice cream treat that she needed. And they would they'd just sit there. Time for treats, mommy.
But
They
yeah,
say you can't train
I have
cats, that's
zero
bullshit.
time. I have zero time for any of that bullshit.
Mm.
If I know that you are hurting a child, I will fuck you up. I am telling you that right now.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're part of my family, one of my best friends. I will not tolerate it at all.
Same. And again, most of the family around here knows I was a victim of that when I was younger. I had a very, very touchy-feely uncle. So it's personal to me. It's very personal. Because I went through that. I went through, a very long time not understanding what, and, a lot of the struggles that a lot of those kids go through. And my family just didn't want to address the situation at all. They just refused to acknowledge it. My mother denied that it happened up until her very grave, even though, I confronted her with it. And she's like, no, it didn't happen, blah, 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 whatever. She was in denial. So I had a lot of shit to work through, and I had to work through it all by myself. And since I didn't realize that was a problem, it affected me in a lot of ways, and I was never really able to process it as a kid. It wasn't until I became an adult, I was self-aware of what the hell was going on with me, that I was able to sit down with myself and Jesus and say, hey, you know what? Some really fucked up shit happened to me in the past. Why am I the way I am now? Okay, well, it's because of this, and this, and because how I interpreted things like this. Well, God damn it, I should be angry about this shit. So now I take the stance of, I was a victim. I will not allow another child to continue to be victimized in my presence. I was there. I went through it. I know the pain. I don't care what happens to me. Go ahead, throw me in prison. If I end up, unaliving one of them in Minecraft, well, I'm going to fill up a Minecraft freaking graveyard before the police take me down. I'm going to be like that one dude. I forget his name now. I think it was the Alaskan Adventurer that did this. Found out that his daughter had been touched, tortured the guy, accidentally killed him because the guy just started to taunt him about how he was just going to do it again. So he went out and murked as many people off of the list that he could possibly find before the police finally caught up with him, and then he went pretty much peacefully. Yeah, that would be me. That would be me, because you know what?
He actually just got out of prison. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know he did. Honestly, if I'd been on that jury, I would have nullified all the charges. He didn't kill human beings, after all. Those things aren't human to me. They never will be. I don't care. You know, maybe that's me being a bad Christian of the ones that are the greatest sinners. I don't care. I'm sorry. That's a bridge that I can't cross. And like I said, that is a personal issue to me. And I can only hope that, you know, provided Trump gets into office, all that sort of stuff happens, we see greater enforcement of removing these people. We got Diddy in jail. How many people on Diddy's little party list did shit with kids? How many of them can we flip? How many of them can we throw in prison? Some of them we're going to have to make deals with. That's fine. Let's get the real nasty ones. Let's get the ones that are supplying the kids to these disgusting satanic cannibals. There, I said it. Let's get them. Let's get them, wreck them, stop the importation of children for this shit. And as many of them as possible, throw them in a wood chipper or just give them a lethal injection or put them in front of a firing squad. Or for God's sakes, let the dads and moms of the victims give them 5 minutes alone. Some of us would be very glad to remove these things from the census and have no guilt about it. None. Let us do it. Let us handle it. Let us, the ones who have already been, you know, affected by this shit. I know your story, Chris, and how this personally affected you and your situation. You know, I have absolutely no qualms about just, I can't remember his name, but he was a very well-known executioner in the Soviet Union during World War II. He executed something like 5,000 Polish soldiers and officers. And they would literally just be walked into a room, their name and would be read out, and then they would get a 25 caliber bullet right in the back of the head, right here. And he would execute hundreds of people a day. Give me the gun, put them into the room, you know, just push them in. I will stand there and pull the trigger all freaking day until my hands fall off.
Did you know that there was actually a Nazi executioner that traveled around with a guillotine?
Oh,
Well, I
shit.
hadn't heard that one.
Oh, you have? I'll find the video on it for you. But yeah, he actually had a traveling guillotine that he would take around, and he would use it on conspirators, what they called conspirators. But yeah,
I'm sure I've seen that. I've spent so much. I watched so many movies and documentaries about that shit. It's just crazy. I was like in a thing there for a while. I just kept watching this shit. Just crazy shit, man.
let me see if I can look up the name.
Oh, here's something that'll surprise everybody. And okay, everybody here knows that Tim Waltz is a little bit light in the loafers, right? He apparently likes his partner's football playing and male and of high school age. According to the Daily Mail, Kamala Harris VP choice, Tim Waltz had secret fling with daughter of top Chinese communist official during teaching stint in China. A woman. Oh, goodness. Tim Waltz with a woman.
How about that?
We can cast all the aspersions we want on that. I mean, first of all, she's Chinese, and she is not one of the, well, I guess back then she was pretty decent looking. Nowadays, she is very much not. She says she was treated like a prostitute and was left feeling angry and suicidal. We were deeply in love, and I wanted to marry him and start a family. When it didn't happen, I felt very sad. Tim's behavior was very selfish. That's according to her personal testimony.
Huh. Okay, so here's the guy's name. He was Johann Reichert, was Germany's chief executioner during World War II, responsible for the lives of over 3,165 people, including criminals, resistance fighters, and dissenters. He was known for his ruthless efficiency and invented his own guillotine, which became his instrument of death. So there's your education for today. His nickname was the Headhunter. Says post-war career. After World War II, he surprisingly turned against his former Nazi masters and became an executioner, for the Allied forces. He hanged
Oh, well.
Nazi war criminals at Landsberg prison working alongside American authorities. How about that?
Well, see, that's where you gotta, don't hate the player, hate the game sort of situation. The dude had skills, so he put it to use. I mean, look at Operation Paperclip. Here's
Right,
another
Daniel?
one for you. NPR has reported that over 8%, or roughly 200,000 people of Washington Post subscribers, have canceled their subscriptions after not endorsing Kamala Harris after being blocked by Amazon's Jeff Bezos.
Daniel said, "Was it real? Was it a woman? Really? Lefties don't know the difference between the sexes."
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And here's one that's a little troubling. This just happened. Pennsylvania RNC official Val Bionciello was just arrested at the polls in Delaware County after she told fellow voters to remain in line and not leave without voting. Someone recorded the arrest saying she's not influencing people. She is not at all. She posted on Facebook saying, "I was just arrested at the government center in Delaware County for encouraging Republicans to stay in the long line and vote. Please do not get out of line and do not let the Democrats discourage you from staying in that line. I apologize for low video quality." And then it's just a notation about that. But yeah, that just happened in Delaware County.
Wow, I didn't even hear that, but that's fucking
It just
crazy.
happened. It literally just happened. The tweet is like minutes old.
Like seriously, encouraging people to stay there is not telling people to. I mean, as long as she's not sitting there, I guess telling just Republicans, as long as she's encouraging the entire line, I guess. I don't know. I don't see how that's a problem. I know they passed a law that you're not allowed to stand there and like hand out water and food to people in line anymore because they consider that buying a vote.
Which is silly. I mean,
yeah, that's why I'm glad I live in a small town, because I can get down there early. I can be in and out of there in under a half hour or so.
Oh, I'm in and out usually in 5 minutes.
I don't see how I don't see how some of these damn people in these big cities can do it. Ain't no way in hell I can stand there that fucking long, especially if there's a bunch of idiots around me. To boot.
Yep. I had that issue in Tulsa. Fortunately, my local polling place,
Hi,
when
Ray.
I voted. Hi, Ray.
All right.
My local polling place when I was voting in Tulsa, there was a long line. I was in line for probably a good hour. But everybody was being friendly. Nobody was discussing who they were voting for. And I would say it was a pretty mixed bag at the time. This was midterm elections. So, it was, it wasn't, everybody here's one side or the other. It was kind of 50-50, I would say. But we were just, how you doing, neighbor? Having a good day? Yeah, the weather's nice for this sort of thing. Blah, blah, blah. Don't mind standing out here. It's not too cold. So, it was amicable. I would put it that way. Amicable. And we weren't all trying to beat the crap out of each other. Even though I'm pretty sure that at least some of them were pretty hard to the left. And I know at least a couple of them, like one of them, the guy right behind me was all the way to the right. He had a God and Country shirt. Mind you, it just said God and Country with the American flag. Didn't say any, party affiliation, but it was God and Country. It had 2 crossed AR-15s on it, big old cross. I mean, it was clear it was advertisement without it being advertisement. The only thing they said is just zip up your jacket. Okay. And he zipped it up just enough so that it just said God.
Yeah.
You can't say anything about that.
Did you hear about the woman that had a shirt on and they told her that she wasn't allowed to vote with that shirt on, so she just took her shirt off?
Yeah, I told you guys that one earlier.
Voted?
Yeah.
I told you guys about that one earlier. She voted in her bra.
I'm sorry, but what does it matter what you wear personally to the poll?
Yeah.
You're not part of a campaign.
I'm still debating how I'm going to. I mean, if I ride down, I'll be all coated up so they won't see my shirts or nothing, but I don't know. I'm still debating whether I want to wear my Trump hat or not. I mean, all I got is Trump hats, really. Anymore. I got one from my brother's company. That's about it.
See, my thing is I can understand why they have rules like this. I mean, it's not necessarily to influence voting. It's more to prevent violence at the voting place.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for that reason, I completely understand and back the idea, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be wearing our gear at the polling place. But if we want to go outside in the parking lot and put on a Trump jacket or a Trump hat or whatever after we're done voting,
Oh,
get
yeah.
our cars and leave, that should be completely within our rights. You know, they shouldn't be restricting that. But in the polling place, I get it. You don't want, especially with polarized politics these days, you don't want two people who are at opposite ends of the spectrum picking a fight with each other right in the middle of the polling place just because one side is wearing a shirt or a hat or pants or flip-flops that the other side doesn't agree with. However, if all you're doing is wearing something like an American flag, the state flag, city flag for cities that have it, something that is nonpartisan and represents, you know, state, county, municipality, America, without a party affiliation, I don't see an issue with that. I don't see an issue with that at all. Like my mom, one time when she went voting, they didn't knock her for this because it was different times. It was 20 plus years ago. She went and voted in a faux leather jacket that was basically just an American flag. You know, it was kind of mishmashed, but, you know, it was an American flag. Everybody loved it. You know, there were some people who were wearing American flag gear. One of the guys that I knew from town, he worked at the garden center, and he had this really nice polo that was actually custom made for him and a few of his friends. It had the stars over one shoulder and then the flag in kind of like a flutter pattern down towards the corner on the front, and then on the back it just said "Real American 1776." I don't know where the hell he got it, but it was awesome. I love that shirt. I wanted that shirt from him so bad. But he was quite a few sizes larger than me, so it would have been a sleeping bag for me. But you can't say that he wasn't full of patriotism. He basically had a parade-sized flag that he was wearing down his front. I don't have an issue with that. I wouldn't have an issue with somebody wearing, say, the Illinois state flag if they're voting in Chicago, or the city of Tulsa flag if they're voting in Tulsa, or the Nowata County flag if they're voting in Nowata County. You know, that shouldn't have any negative connotations to it at all. Because voting is an expression of our freedoms. It is an expression of, we are a country that decided that we needed the right to vote. One person, one vote. That's what we fought and died for 250 plus years ago. You know, it should be an expression of Americanism. It shouldn't have a partisan lean to it just because it's an American flag or a state flag or whatever. And it's, you notice it's always the left that says that American flags are racist and stuff. You know, that represents racism, and you know, the founding fathers were all evil and terrible. They should have been the founding Zers or whatever. You know, it's always them saying that. It's always them saying that patriotic gear is just a symbol of imperialism or whatever the hell. And then you have Seth Rich, is the staffer for the DNC. Seth Rich, and one of his most famous photos is him wearing literally everything that he was wearing was an American flag. His socks, his pants, his shirt, and even his flip-flops were all American flags. And that man died trying to expose the evil of the Democratic Party. It's a foregone conclusion now. If you look up the shit that happened to him, how they lured him out with somebody that was supposed to be a friend of his, and I don't know who took him out exactly, but we all know it was some deep state element or a three-letter agency or another. Maybe it was just Hillary paid for the best because she usually does. Elmo, they suspended kids from school for wearing American flag shirts in school. Yeah, that's absolute bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, you should be able to wear whatever the fuck flag you want in school, as long as it is not like a Nazi flag, which would cause instant, problems. But, if you want to wear an American flag pin, an American flag shirt, you want to wear a little pin with an American flag crossed with the Italian flag, the French flag, the Russian flag, I don't care. All you're doing is you're expressing your view. You have to be willing to stand up and defend those views, though. And obviously, if we're talking about school, you should be able to defend it just verbally and not get into a fight about it.
Okay, so Andrea asked the question, when they put your ballot through the machine, is there a way to get a receipt of your ballot and what you voted? they should give you a tab that when you put your
Yep.
paper in, it should be printing out something with a number on it for your
Mhm.
ballot. And that way they can go back and actually look up your ballot if you hand them that number.
Yep.
So, yes, you should, in theory, be able to do that.
Now, see, if you really want to get tricky,
No, we
if
know,
your
man.
ballot-
We know, Daniel. We know. We've seen it.
Oh
but-
yeah. Oh yeah. I know because I lived in that state. But if you really want to
You
get
stop
tricky with it,
playing on it.
Andrea, if you really want to get tricky, Andrea, if your ballot has some kind of a number or barcode or QR code or something in the corner, take a picture of that with at least the president section marked in, so that you actually have a picture of you marking the ballot for Trump along with the number or barcode or whatever for your ballot. That way, if you get your ticket at the end, and by the way, hang on to it, and you go and look it up, and it says that you voted for Mickey Mouse, you can go and say, hey, you know what? I've got photographic proof that I didn't. Here's my photographic proof.
Yep.
And then you
they'll
instantly
to
have
file
standing to file a lawsuit.
Yep. Because you
Oh.
are armed.
Hey, y'all, I'm out of here, man.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna go
care,
ahead
Mike.
and wrap up here in a minute. Take care, Mike. Have a good night, bud. Hopefully,
Yep,
we'll
y'all
see
have a
you
good night. Later.
later, bud.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dave,
Dave,
California
California
used to be
turned-
solid red.
Yep.
Chris and I said almost the same.
Yep,
We're sharing brain
California
cells
used to be
today.
a great. Back when I was a kid, I used to love California. I
yeah.
really wanted to go visit, and then as I got
did.
older and saw, the shit that was going on, I'm like, I don't think I need to go out there.
See, I was lucky. I got to visit California back in the 80s. We visited San Diego. Oh, man. I got to go out on a 3-hour fishing tour. Mind you, I was just a little kid. But I had a great time in San Diego. And we went to Knott's Berry Farm. On another trip, we went to Disney, back when Disney was affordable and not trying to groom children as badly. Knott's Berry Farm was one of my favorites, though. I love Knott's Berry Farm. Mostly, I remember the jams that we got from there. I ate the crap out of those jams. I was literally having peanut butter and jellies.
Oh wait.
every single day.
Okay. My mind went somewhere different. I'm thinking Boone's Farm. Sorry. You know what Boone's
Just
Farm
saying.
is.
But yeah, no, California back in the 80s was great. You know, the atmosphere, as far as I remember it, is, you know, we're going to do our thing. Nobody really cared. You know, there wasn't division. There wasn't cultural tension. There wasn't a lot of homeless people. I'll tell you that much. I mean, there were a couple that I saw, but it wasn't the infestation that you have today. Here in our election, you can't take anything into where you mark your ballot with you. Just a pencil in the ballot, then hand it in after you are done.
What? They can't tell you that. That's against the law. Oh wait, you're in Canada. Never mind. Sorry.
I was about to say.
I thought Andrea said that. I'm sorry, Ruth. That's kind of that's crazy to me. I couldn't now. Because I take my phone and I mark who I'm voting for before I go in. Because that way I don't have to go by the R or D. I already know exactly the person I'm voting for. I do the same for Mom and Katie. We sit down and we discuss it and we decide as a family who we're voting for.
Yep.
We don't always vote for the same people. We if one of us decides we want to vote for somebody different, we can. But we have to have our phones with us because we want to make sure we're voting for the right people that we want, based on our research. So, that would. I mean, I guess we could, but you're saying you can't take anything, and you can't even take a paper with it. I hope you guys get rid of True Dope this year. I really
I
do.
don't see it happening.
I was talking to Sean Scott. I do. Did you see the video with him with the steel workers up there?
It don't matter. He's so thoroughly entrenched, and the system is just in so much control over there. There's no way they're getting him out of office now. They had one chance, and that's when the truckers decided to occupy Ottawa. That was their one and only chance to get rid of him, and they should have gone for it, and they just couldn't do it. Now, there's nothing that's going to stop it. No, it's not even hopeful. They're almost half their population are immigrants. In England, nearly 50% of the population, it's like 48% of the population are non-English immigrants. It's pretty much the same in Canada. You know, there's so many non-Canadians, there is absolutely no chance of getting rid of these people. None. And it's not just that. It's also the fact that, you know, shit is so corrupt up there that there is the only way that they would actually have a chance is if they had a revolution, and they almost had one, and they backed down at the last minute. I mean, I'm not criticizing them because that is a huge bridge to cross, but they were right at the point where the military would have had to get involved. And then it really would have gone for, is the military going to enforce the ruling for the elites, or are they going to side with Canadian citizens? And once that happens, then you get to actual legitimate civil war or coup or something or other. They were right at the precipice, and they backed down. I'm not criticizing them for backing down, because they were at the position of literally we could lose everything or we could keep what little we have. And they couldn't make that choice in the end. Not criticizing them for it. They have families, they have people that they love and care for and care about. And, you know, sometimes I think it was Alexander Solzhenitsyn that said, you know, if only we had stood up when the secret police were coming for us piecemeal, we would have done something. You know, if even one of them had been afraid of kicking down a door, maybe all of them would have been afraid. Well, it's the same sort of mentality as the Muscovites that fell victim to that sort of thing. You know, you have something that you want to protect so badly, and you're at a point where you're faced with the stark choice of, do we actually just throw away everything that we have ever had as a nation and force this guy out of office by force of arms? Or do we just hope it gets better? You know, and some people were probably willing to go ahead and take that stuff, but not enough of them were. They lost Canada at that point. There is no hope for that country anymore. None. The globalists control it, and they will control it for all time. At least until somebody, you know, they would have to have their own Guy Fawkes moment, and he would actually have to be successful. And even then, it's not going to be enough. America is going to end up standing alone, and that's if we can get Trump into office. America is going to end up standing alone as the last truly free country on earth. You know, Argentina is doing a pretty good job of holding out, but eventually they're going to get it too. Brazil was free until, you know, that commie bastard who's in charge of the Brazilian Supreme Court basically started issuing rulings that he had no business issuing, freeing their twice convicted communist former prime minister and giving him power again. You know, they stole Brazil from the Brazilians. The Brazilians actually took up arms briefly. The military was 50-50, but everything settled down because the people who were fourth and fifth ranked above, you know, the street people were starting to get, you know, messages, not just violent ones, but some of them were being bribed. Some of them were being threatened. And then everything was just forced to calm down, and they stole the country. And I know a couple of Brazilians are very, very salty about that. They know that they handed their country over to communists, and they're not happy, but there was nothing they could do. Bolsonaro just couldn't get, one of the issues is that he couldn't get enough arms into the hands of the populace fast enough. He was trying to repeal a lot of the gun laws in that country so that his country, because he knew what was going to happen. He knew. Bolsonaro is probably about as smart as Trump. He knew that this bastard in the Supreme Court was going to do the crap that he did. He wanted to get as many guns into the hands of the civilian population as possible so that when it did happen, they could legitimately take up arms and have a chance against the Brazilian military. And I don't care what anybody says. The Brazilian military, by and large, those guys are pros. They may not have the best equipment in the world. They may not have the most expensive equipment in the world, but they are very good at what they do. They're an example of, we have what we have, and we are going to make the absolute most out. We are going to squeeze every value bit out of whatever we have. And they're very good at doing that. And, you know, put me on the field in a war, give me a choice between, you know, a battalion of Germans, a battalion of French, and a battalion of Brazilians. I'd be happy with any of them. Because I know that, you know, if they're properly motivated, all three of them will fight to the death. It's just how it is. You know, you deal with them. They really do have a first world military mentality, even if they have second world or third world. Well, no, I wouldn't say third world because a lot of their stuff is homemade and it's pretty good quality. I mean, shit. Springfield rifles and pistols are all made in Brazil. There's something about, but bet a bunch you didn't know. Springfield Company, yeah, almost all their shit's Brazilian. So if you own a Springfield 1911, it was made in Brazil. Its actual company, its name is Imbel. And they make damn good guns. They make damn good guns. So, but you know, that's just the thing. You know, that's what I'm saying. They would have had a chance against the Brazilian military, but he couldn't get enough guns into their hands fast enough because you're also dealing with people who are really poor. He was trying to press home, you know, you need gun for self-defense, protect yourself against the favela criminals. And a lot of the people were like, yes, we agree with you, but we kind of want to feed our families first. You know, a gun is a huge investment, even when you start taking away a lot of the barriers to gun ownership. And, you know, all you had to do was look at Venezuela to see what would happen when the government takes away your guns. And just a few years later, what happens? Full-blown communism. And they're still suffering. And Bolsonaro didn't want that for Brazil. He tried. Less than he tried. He failed. But it's one of those things. When the deck's stacked against you, you can only do so much. Anyway, that's my piece.
Well, I need to be careful with what I say at that. Let's just say, if that was to start here, I wouldn't be here very long, we'll put it that way.
Well, I'm best friends with Jay. He's got acres. I'll be safe. And if we have to, we'll go and snatch Jamie from wherever she is, just to make sure that she's not trapped in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Road trip. You know.
But, all right, y'all. Well, it's been a fun show. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Cal. Thank you, Cora. Thank you, Mike, for hanging out with me today. Appreciate you. Love you all. Be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of yourselves and each other.
Yep.
And remember, if you need anything, call me. I will do my best to help you with whatever I can.
Mm-hmm.
So, but all right.
Take care, y'all.
Great night, and we'll see you on Discord or you know.
See you tomorrow morning, everybody.
All right. Take care, everybody. Peace. We're out. I think that was right. There you go. Peace. We're out.